appointment letter has your ministerial letterhead and a very different story. So if I look at this letter, this is the contract that was given to us. Sorry, I just needed to break just now so that we can actually print this. This was the contract that was given to your aide. It does not even have a letter on it. This is the contract that you are saying you are not aware of. Let me read this to you. I'm going to read it as it is. Appointment on contract as food aid to the Minister of Social Development. No date on here, right? Gives me pleasure to inform you that your contract of employment in terms of Section 9 of the Public Service Act as amended, read in conjunction with Regulation 57 of the Public Service Amendment Regulation to this department as been approved with particulars indicated below. Commencement date, date of assumption of duty. So there's no date there. Job title, food aid. Nature of appointment, fixed term contract for a period of 6 months. Remuneration breakdown, 8,000 Rand a month. 8,000 Rand a month. Minister's house allocation, 7,670 Rand per month utilized for household, right? Your contract appointment is subject to conditions and requirements as stipulated in the employment contract. So here it is, Minister, that says half her salary goes to your household. Here we have copies of her bank statement, right? So this is not what social media says. This is the facts. This is signed, right? Here we have copies of her bank statement, Minister, where it shows, right, that we have a pay slip also. A pay slip shows that she was being paid a net monthly salary of 15,814 Rand and 47 cents. But her banking records show that she was only keeping half her salary, right? And payments going to Makanyu. Say that name nicely for me. Makanyu, that's her name, right? Is that your daughter, Minister? Because here it shows her details. It shows a full salary going in, and it shows half her salary going into your daughter's bank account. And here we have the cooked contract that no one's aware of in front of us. So we cannot say that this matter must be closed and it cannot be discussed because it's Skinner stories in social media and in the newspapers, because we have the evidence and we have the proof before us here today. So with that, are you aware that the term Minister's house allocation does not appear to exist anywhere in DPSA documentation, the Ministerial Handbook, the Public Service Regulations, the Public Service Act, or any of the official public service framework? Are you aware of that? And I leave it at that. Thank you.
PSC?
Thank you very much. One, we will furnish the full report to the committee because we report to Parliament. We were just waiting for this provisional aspect until the 14th, where you'll see all the compiled details. And secondly, on the issue of the involvement of Minister and Deputy Minister, that does not appear to be the case. The only problem is that since the matter was ventilated in the media, the time it took before intervention and the stopping of salary and other interventions, it's what then becomes worrisome to the PSC. To say now it is in the public domain, this is the person in your office, these are the people in your department and so forth. What are the steps being taken to mitigate the risk? Because that has become a matter of public interest. But when we also do the inductions, we also indicate that even when you have private employees in the private office of the minister or executive authority, it is very much important to take interest in the qualifications, the background of the person, because this is the person who becomes your key conduit in advising you on policy, in interfacing with the department, and so forth. If it becomes literally a blind date, you say, I've just been introduced to this person, it becomes a problem. That's why PSC, working with the relevant departments, we want to retreat and just reflect very carefully on the issue of members who operate in the private offices of the executive authorities. Some would be political appointees in that technical sense. How best do we make sure that we have a framework for this category of people so that professionals who have the knowledge in guiding the executive authorities do have what it takes? It cannot be that you take literally a student fresh from school and that person is going to exercise so much power in advising an executive authority presiding over a department that is presiding over close to 30 million of people. So that in itself, I do think that we ought to take statecraft quite seriously. And that does not just apply to the minister. We have dealt with other instances over the issues of people who operate in the private offices. And that in itself has sort of escaped the gaze of how do we professionalize that particular space.